All right, so I'm Fabio. I'm here today with Josh. We're at Nooketown Studios, and we're gonna ask Josh a few questions, see what's up with him, and yeah, we've known each other for about 5 years. Yeah, so it's been a minute. We went to university together,
Yes.
And then we took. We did a whole bunch of projects and music together.
Mostly after university.
Yeah, that's funny also, but we'll get back to that. We took slightly different career paths in the audio field, so I guess we can dive straight up into the first question, which is, dude, you've been working for what, 2 years?
Yeah, just more than 2 years right now.
Yeah, on TNT Media?
TNT Media.
Yeah, it's a dubbing and like a voiceover company down in near Potsdam.
Yeah, Babelsberg.
So how does that correlate, and how would you say that affects how you would work with music, or other than Pro Tools, obviously, where does it connect?
I mean, obviously, I work a lot with vocals. When I produce stuff, it's usually me singing, and me working with voices here at the dubbing studio also means that I work with a lot of vocal clips and a lot of editing. So I would certainly say that the editing part from my current job has certainly helped me in my production with vocals and matching comps and making a lot of playlists and cutting up stuff that would work better in the song. So yeah, I would say editing for sure. And then just working with the preamp, getting the best level at the same time, not hitting the peaks too much. So that's the main thing that I've brought in from my actual job right now.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys don't do any sort of like tuning. It's just mostly just
recording.
Corrective stuff.
Yeah, just recording and editing. Our mix engineer, he's a really great guy. He fixes everything we can't fix, but our task is mostly just recording. And after recording, when we edit episodes of the show that we're doing, we just fade in, fade out, and then fix any clicks and pops that might be there in the recording that we didn't really hear during the recording.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And well, I mean, still like in the background sort of technical aspects of the industry, I guess, but you come from a very pop-oriented background. I mean, again, from working together, it's always a cool perspective to see how you interpret stuff. How do you think that affects you? Like, let's say you're in the scenario where you're playing keys for some like production. Where does your mind go, and how does that influence, help you?
Yeah, I would say I have a lot of pop influences, but also I think as a kid it was a lot more of church music. So I would go to church a lot with my family, and there I would be about the hymns and how the hymns are played. You'd have a couple of different organ players coming in during the course of the service. So you'll have 3 different players, and each of them would have their own nuances in the ways of playing a certain song. And they would add a different chord progression here and an extra chord there that would really change up how you think of the song. And I think my mind started growing its creative horizons, I would say, from when I started going to church and like learning about different chord progressions. And as you know, I learn by ear. Like I can't read notes a lot, so it's more about I would hear the song at church, come back home, try and play it. And then I need the transpose button because I can only play on one scale, and it's like +3. Okay, now I try playing it on C, and okay, which was the chord that they played, and then I try and remember the note that was there in the chord, and that's how I get the new chord. Okay, got it. And then that led to me growing up and now listening to music on the radio, a lot of pop music, and then seeing how pop music got a lot simpler. And like now you're down to like 4 or 5 chords in a song, and that's it. And that's good for me since now I can experiment with the same song and add a lot more chords in. So mine's mostly about chord progressions and adding stuff in to make it sound more interesting. And I think that sort of outlook helps when it comes to producing with you, where you're more into, I would say, rock, metalcore, and those are also usually coming down to 2, 3, not 2, 3, I'd say 4, 5 chords, and then a lot of bar stuff coming in, and you could have something in the background that's playing extra stuff, and it makes the stuff a lot more interesting, and the listener's going to notice that.
Yeah, I mean that is for sure. Like everything that we've worked on, that you brought your own take into it. It's always been very interesting to get. I mean, doing metal chugga chugga stuff. You know, you don't. I mean, you go complex with the riff and all that stuff, but like it's generally not a humongous amount of chords, and then you just add those little nuances that make it way more interesting and add depth to the whole production, which is cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, the one question that I'm asking everyone, and I want to see what you come up with, but it's all about experience and it's horror stories in the industry. So I guess what's one horror story that you've seen, like it could be something that you heard of, something that happened to you?
I mean, I think I've had my fair share of horror stories, both as a musician and as an engineer. As a musician, it would be like the one time when I'm supposed to be playing a song for someone and they are singing, and I play on the keys and I start playing on the key that we rehearsed, but the singer goes on a completely different scale.
Oh.
And they just start singing and belting it out. I'm like, what do I do now? Because as you know, again, I need to transpose, and I can't just switch scales because I don't know how that works. You know, I need to go, come on, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep playing, and it just sounded bad the whole time, until someone just came up and said, you guys are doing it wrong, and then we started again and it was better, but that didn't feel good. You know.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, as an engineer, there was this one time again for the church where I wasn't hired, but I was taking care of the sound system. And there was this the system at the church was a little weird, where you had mics around the church for the priest and stuff like that were connected to a big mixing board, but there were also these small SM58s, but those weren't connected to this. Those were connected to another board or a preamp in another room, which I didn't know about.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and then these kids started singing their Christmas carol or something. So they have one mic or two mics, and there are 3 kids singing. And they called me and asked me, like, we can't really hear them. Can you turn it up? I'm like, yeah, okay. And I think this is the knob, and I turn it up. And then it's all the other mics that's not the SM58 just going up in volume, like... white noise, and then the white noise just overpowers the singing, and it's even worse now. So yeah, and then I don't know if we realized to fix it, but that was also not a great experience.
Well, yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds like it all. Cool. Well, it's been great having this chat. Let me know, or let everyone know what's up, if you have any projects coming up or things that you're involved in.
Yeah, I mean, mostly my stuff is with Fabio. Whatever he does, he asks me to maybe add some keys or maybe some backing vocals or stuff like that. I do want to produce my own music and put it out. I just haven't had the perfect song or something yet. But I do post stuff on my Instagram, so maybe you can check that out, Joshua Lex Music. And you could find small snippets of stuff that I play, and I post that online. So yeah, check it out.
I'll link that below as well. Everyone, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Bye.